Oh yeah, Phoenix Jones, was that from Rain? Oh, from Atrocity Guide? She did the one we just watched with the man the man who lived in an airport for 18 years. We went down the Phoenix Jones rabbit hole already, but I've never seen the whole story.
As homage to their comic book inspirations, they adopt colorful costumes and pseudonyms, like Redbud Woman and the Crimson Canuck. Each has a different MO. Polar Man travels the streets of Canada, shoveling snow from driveways.
Aww.
The DC Guardian, armed with a $10,000 bulletproof suit, a stun gun, 2 million Scoville pepper spray, and a GoPro. Phoenix Jones is perhaps the closest thing to a comic book hero we've ever seen. And during his decade of activity, his fans have watched him transform from hero to anti-hero and finally, to what he'd fought so long to protect Seattle against.
I guess it's true. What they say.
Yeah.
You live long enough as the hero, see yourself become the villain.
Very bad.
I guess it.
This is the rise and fall of Phoenix Jones.
I won't spoil the story. I'm very curious to see the whole lore now, but I know how it ends, unfortunately. He was never the hero? What do you mean? He kinda was. I mean, he'd try and break up street fights and then call the cops.
Phoenix Jones, Guardian of Seattle. Local news began
Tier 1,
reporting
Clara.
on a mysterious figure who, nearly every night, disappeared into the hidden room of a comic book shop and emerged in a black and gold costume. In the beginning, the learning curve for what he hoped to accomplish proved steep.
One local man came within seconds of having his car broken into, perhaps stolen, until a superhero came to his rescue.
And you just start sticking it down.
Dan was calling 911, but help flew in before he finished dialing.
From the right, this guy comes
Yeah, I know about the Killer
dashing
Bean
in.
thing.
As he continued, Jones began breaking up street fights, attempting to intimidate drug dealers, and in doing so, incurred many injuries.
Yeah, he got his ass beat a lot.
Kicked him and broke his nose. It's under my eye over here on this. I can see
But the injuries didn't deter him. For the first time, we have someone who agrees with our overall purpose but doesn't agree with our methods.
Night Owl?
Hero Night Owl told the Wall Street Journal.
Honestly, if you... This'll just be to anyone out there that wants to be like a vigilante helping. Just travel with Narcan. That's what it's called, right? Narcan? What is it? What is that shit that literally brings people back to life? I think it's... Yeah, Narcan. That nasal spray? That shit is like an actual miracle for people that are overdosing. Like, if you want to be a real hero, just travel around and just have that and save people who have overdosed that night. Like, you'd help. I don't know how much traveling around and getting your ass beaten would help somebody, but that would. That would actually fucking help. I had no idea how effective that was until recently. I saw a video on it. Shit is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if you gave that to a dead body and brought them back to life. It seems so potent. I can't find any like news articles or videos of these other ones, but Phoenix Jones is well documented.
Retiring in his 20s after inventing corrugated fiberglass, Richard Pesta of San Diego devoted his life to becoming America's first Cape Crusader.
Aww.
Like many after him, Captain Sticky's approach was not
a good name. Not a good name.
His costume and outrageous persona served as bait for the media.
Sounds like he's like a pre-cum bender.
To speak out against injustices, such as the poor conditions of elderly homes or greedy auto mechanics upcharging their less knowledgeable customers.
Oh shit!
Get a taste of that next time you want to hurt a little kid.
In recent decades, an
this is
influx
awesome.
of individuals following in their footsteps began to permeate the streets of metropolitan cities. But not only did Phoenix Jones stand in stark contrast with his community, he seemed to look down on them. I don't call them real-life superheroes, he told writer John Ronson, who interviewed Jones in an emergency room as he was being treated for a stab wound. I call them real-life sandwiches.
Jesus Christ!
But this separation from the community didn't seem to hinder Phoenix. On the contrary, by mid-2011...
There's a lot you can say about Phoenix Jones, but he was kind of a fucking badass. He said this with a stab wound in the emergency room. Like, he's kind of fucking cool. Like I said, when we first went down the Phoenix Jones rabbit hole, I haven't seen this video, but we watched his content that he used to post. I thought he was pretty fucking badass.
And it wasn't long before Phoenix managed to inspire a small coalition of like-minded individuals who costumed themselves to join him on patrol.
what kinds of crimes are happening if the police respond. And I just factor in all this different data. And I say, you know what, this is where we need to be.
Well, we gotta send Phoenix Jones out there, baby. Get his ass beat. Buster Doe. This is like Dwight from The Office here. He just grabbed a hoodie and put underwear on his face. What the fuck is this costume? Come on, man. Phoenix Jones invested $10,000 in a literal bulletproof costume, and you're cruising in his crew looking like a fucking jockstrap? Come on, Buster. What are you doing? God, like, these were really bold things that he was doing. Unironically, like, really bold.
Here's what's going on. We got cameras all over.
Phoenix's approach remained polarizing, as he often invited camera crews to follow him on patrol. Some sense Jones cared more about his own celebrity than improving his community. Phoenix and Purple Rain were married, and the two of them together serving as the dual public face of the group seemed to be good PR. Interviewers and media outlets were divided.
Jesus, kind of like
Some
The
wishing
Boys.
to scold the heroes.
It's about Nightwing and Batgirl.
It's like right out of The Boys.
It's more about
a superhero marriage.
Tell us what happened the night Phoenix saved your life.
A man was getting violent with security at a nightclub.
Thanks to Risa
To get violent with me and my group of friends. Phoenix ran in and pepper sprayed the guy and defused the entire situation.
How did you hear about it?
A so-called superhero in Seattle is under arrest.
Yeah. But look he's the first one to charge in, goddammit. He's on the front line.
Phoenix ran in, shouting to the group to break it up, instructing Ghost to dial 911 as was their protocol. But rather than thanking Phoenix for his assistance, the group turned on him. Phoenix, unable to verbally control the situation, employed the use of his pepper spray. But according to a police report, the group was, quote, dancing and frolicking around with each other when a masked man came
cyber goth rave under the bridge.
Pepper spray.
I see.
The last paragraph of the police report notes that this was the second. Phoenix welcomed them to congregate around him, and in a move that shocked everyone, he unmasked himself and greeted the cameras for the first time as Benjamin Fodor.
I'm Phoenix Jones. I'm also Ben Fodor. I also protect the city. I also am a father. I also am a brother. I'm just like everyone else.
Damn, the big reveal!
Born in Texas in 1988, Benjamin Fodor
it's like when Tony Stark revealed that he was Iron Man.
Before finding, according to Tapology.com, Benjamin, who fought under the name Flat Top, boasted an impressive amateur record of 11 wins and no losses.
Fuck!
But where one morning, Benjamin found his car broken into, his driver's side window shattered, and a black ski mask laying atop the broken glass on the street. Phoenix decided the ski mask would serve as the basis for an alternate identity. A moniker was
That's
chosen.
super, like,
the word
that's like super wholesome almost. Like sad, but that's a really good origin for a real
Common
superhero.
American last names. Confused as to how to begin, Benjamin took to simply brooding on rooftops. One night, upon witnessing a mugging, he climbed down the building's fire escape, a task which took minutes, only to find the criminal long gone by the time he reached the street. Northwest, upon witnessing a
So in the early days of Phoenix Jones, the beta testing, he used to just climb on rooftops. And then the one time he saw something, the girl just insulted him. What are you doing? He already left. You look like Count Chocula. Oh no. And that only motivated him further. He then also invested in getting insult-proof suits. So that way he wouldn't feel the pain of insults as well.
He'd purchased a net launcher reminiscent of the old campy Batman comics. Contrary to how he'd imagined the usage of this device playing out, Jones ended up trapping himself in it and was spotted by a passing police officer who took the opportunity to
What hero didn't have a rocky start? It happened. Fucking happens, especially with a net launcher.
Grappling hook, which seemed to. Although fans appreciated this insight into the man behind the mask, this move proved detrimental to Benjamin personally, as he was subsequently fired from his job at the daycare.
Oh, fuck.
And his custom-made suit was confiscated for evidence.
So why did they confiscate your suit? Suit.
So the politically correct answer.
Wait, are you serious though? Like, I'm sorry to keep pausing, but this story is wild. He got fired because he revealed that he was Ben? But how would you not know he's Ben? You would recognize his voice, right? Like, I feel like I recognize people's voices super easily. So if you knew, like, if you ever saw Phoenix Jones on the news and you heard him, you would know that that's him. I really feel like that was just some kind of bad publicity stunt from the daycare.
As he was subsequently
parents
fired
complaining,
from his job at the
probably.
daycare.
Yeah, parents complaining.
And his later that month, the charges were dropped.
Nice! Phoenix Jones beats up criminals and beats up charges. Good work, Phoenix.
What an idiot. Okay.
That was awesome.
He had his own collectible action figure? Holy shit!
It was after midnight. 21-year-old Nicole Westbrook and her boyfriend were walking through Pioneer Square after leaving a comedy show, when suddenly, shots rang out.
Oh.
Gunshot!
Okay.
Phoenix, along with Purple Rain and Pitch Black, ran toward the sound. Jones caught a glimpse of someone in a gray backpack as the potential shooter and followed him on foot for several blocks until police arrived.
There he is. There's the shooter. Backpack running. Backpack running. Backpack running. Backpack running. Backpack.
I remember when we went down the Phoenix Jones rabbit hole the first time we saw
Nicole
that.
suffered a shattered spine. An ambulance rushed her to the hospital where she passed away shortly after. Nicole was not believed to be the intended target. The source of the gunfire was determined to have been a drive-by shooting, leading police to believe the hooded figure the heroes were chasing was the target. Jones would go on to cite the tragedy as his biggest failure.
And she's up the street and the medics are taking her away. The fire engine drives by and just washes the blood off the sidewalk.
What were you gonna do though, Phoenix, to be honest? Like,
keep sitting on the
in a drive-by, you're gonna fucking flip the car over while it's moving?
People start walking by for work and just do their normal everyday life. And my world has completely changed and everyone else is exactly the same.
Especially in his later years.
That's kind of fucked up that he'd make a comic about that.
There was scarcely time to process. Phoenix Jones, along with Midnight Jack and El Caballero, were patrolling the protest, attempting to deter and control outbursts. When a protester inadvertently revealed a plan to blow up the Seattle courthouse.
The crowd was actually rumoring a bomb blowing up a building?
Tier 1, right?
Yeah, that's what the people with the black masks were rumoring because they're kind of dumb, and I don't know if they haven't been to Seattle, but they didn't know that I'm not part of their crew.
Fearing an escalation, they followed the crowd of protesters to the courthouse, and it was there they witnessed rocks and something which was believed to be a failed explosive device being thrown through the glass windows and doors. Knowing Phoenix would be apprehensive to use pepper spray following his assault charge, Midnight Jack opted to be the one to incapacitate the group. When the police arrived, they arrested 8 of the protesters for destruction of public property. The group received their share of disapproving
idiots in superhero cars. Oh, I can't catch a fucking break.
As a combination, but one of the more entertaining opposers of the Rain City Heroes was a filmmaker named Ryan Corey, who decided the thing that was really missing was a villain.
Yeah, fuck.
My name is Rex Velvet, the people's villain, if you will.
I remember this. He was like the Riddler, but for Phoenix Jones.
Back down from you, Jones, until this city is rid of you.
His attempts to bait Phoenix into a campy online rivalry failed. Jones simply took himself too seriously to engage with them.
I mean, to be fair, Phoenix Jones was literally going to the front lines of like the most dangerous situations he could put himself in. Like, he was taking it seriously. He's not gonna get into fucking YouTube skits.
Police arrived shortly after, with the heroes content to let them handle the situation. But after the assailant shouted a racial slur at Phoenix, Jones challenged him to mutual combat.
Yo, Washington's a mutual combat state. If you'd like to agree to fight,
oh my god.
If you would like to.
Mutual
he just dropped the gauntlets on him.
2 consenting parties to engage in a street fight.
I've never even heard of mutual combat states.
Or proper to mutual combat.
God, I wish they had used a good camera. Holy fuck.
Suspect ready to fight.
Sealing the deal with
motion
a
blur in a
handshake
video
under
game.
the supervision of police.
Fighting the suspect.
Ooh. I mean, Phoenix Jones was an 11-0 MMA fighter. Like, that guy had no chance.
Widespread reaction.
It's gonna stop pretty much now.
According to Jones, heroes had been patrolling with illegal weapons.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Notion of vigilante weapons.
Is that a functional weapon?
Had been patrolling with illegal weapons.
She put a fucking ray gun on the top of her car? Jesus, what is like a fucking Tesla coil or something? Backside of a clarinet with rings around it.
Phoenix unveiled an umbrella organization he referred to as the Alliance, which acted as a registry for heroes where they agreed to several of
Imagine if this actually took off.
Wearing a bulletproof vest.
And then 10 years later, we have superheroes like Phoenix Jones doing a really good job.
Every criminal
Or they're like, I'm 7 feet tall and super buff right now. I don't know if there's a mask that'll fit over my giant meathead, but it's cool. I just want to walk around and punch people. Let's go. And I'm like, no.
At this point,
that sounds like someone you'd want on your team. Just guide them better.
We don't get to teach lessons. We get to stop people perpetrating crimes, and we get to give them to the authorities that are supposed to uphold the values that we all.
That sounds pretty fucking noble. Like, that sounds pretty good.
Phoenix claimed the movement now included a legal team, although to what capacity I'm not sure. Aspiring heroes would be
super lawyer, fuck yeah.
Period, and they would be unable to even.
He follows Phoenix around and lets him know what he's allowed to do.
Legion, I just want to beat the fuck out of this guy.
He's not worth it.
God, I'm having one of these moments right now.
Come on.
And he could do it too. Like, there's plenty of things you can say about Phoenix Jones. But if he didn't have to work within the bounds of the law and worry about assault, he would have been able to probably beat the ass of anyone he thought was a criminal easily. Like, this guy, he seemed pretty fucking strong. That's a great mixed martial arts record. In that one recorded fight via mutual combat, he looked clean. Like, he probably would have had, like, a really good track record of beating ass.
Phoenix Jones preys on people exiting bars drunken, unable to function normally, Shockwave claimed, citing the mutual combat video for evidence. Would MMA allow one fighter to be drunk while the other is sober?
Oh,
Accusations
I didn't know that.
His heroics and
That's
spinning
big.
The narrative in his favor were. Rex Velvet made a Facebook post celebrating the end of the movement, asking former members to air their dirty laundry about
classic Rex Velvet. That son of a bitch.
Any of the former which shows police responding to a former friend of Jones's who'd reported the hero came to his apartment, his knuckles wrapped for a fight, threatening his life.
He also said he was going to kill me, that I need to be dead. I have all these screenshots on.
Yeah, he texted him.
Holy shit, Phoenix! What happened? 20 minutes ago, I was full on Phoenix Jones team. Now, what the fuck is this?
By February,
I mean, handing out food to homeless people. I mean, you are a LARPer. You are a LARPer with a bag of food. I am a superhero.
Although Phoenix had always displayed a certain
goddamn
bravado,
another superhero should have challenged him and fought.
Not known for shunning the limelight, Phoenix's drop in activity was unusual. But fans wouldn't know why until 2 months later, when news broke of Phoenix Jones's latest and most unexpected arrest. Phoenix Jones, they claimed, was a drug dealer and had been for some time. Jones would postpone or fail to appear at meeting locations even after accepting an additional $500 via Venmo transfer. Phoenix Jones was arrested for possession of 4 grams of cocaine packaged with the intent to sell, along with various paraphernalia.
Hey, wait, what are y'all doing? No, I'm trying to catch him.
It's wild whiskey.
What did I do?
He's been dealing for years and everyone knew it, wrote another.
Is extremely discouraging to me. And if you're a superhero in the Seattle area, it's over for you now. It's done.
As Jones's video logs and interviews attest, exposing drug
and it was. That was the end.
Part of his crime fight. With the hero so unabashed he'd been seen dealing while wearing a Phoenix Jones t-shirt. Some found the irony humorous, but many of Jones's fans expressed anger and disappointment at the hypocrisy.
This is a hard one to
he wasn't getting paid to be a hero, though. I mean, you gotta put some food on the table somehow.
Spent 11 hours in jail and released on $1,000 bail. As of now, information.
Did he represent himself in court? Don't fucking tell me that.
Here.
Also, maybe he was selling drugs, so he would be the only drug dealer in Seattle, and people that wanted drugs could trust him instead of a shady drug dealer. You could have a monopoly on it with a good drug dealer.
The hiss of walkie-talkies and the smell of pepper spray.
Hard to believe that this wasn't that long ago. When I hear about the Phoenix Jones thing, I usually think like early 2000s.
I got a legal team.
2010 is the new early 2000s? I guess kinda. But this went from 2010 to like 2016. What a story. Man, I knew quite a bit about Phoenix Jones from when we went down the rabbit hole last year, but holy shit, that was deep. Fuck, man. What a story. I like to imagine a world where Phoenix Jones was perfect and his ideas worked. What would that look like? Fucking vigilantes being like accepted in society? Damn, that could have been wacky. Marvel is one of the biggest names in entertainment. They've been creating beloved superhero stories for like 100 years now. They have the most well-known and most recognizable characters of all time, second only to Jesus Christ, I imagine. Everyone knows the characters, seen the movies, or read the comic books. I myself am not a big comic book reader. I don't read many stories or anything of that nature. I don't read manga or shit like that. Maybe I'd read more Marvel comics if they had some hentai issues, but overall, I'm just not a huge fan of the medium. Nothing but respect for people that are, though. And yesterday, Marvel Comics made history by announcing something that nobody in the world liked. They announced the New Warriors comic series, which was received with overwhelming sighs and just a thunderous amount of disinterest. I swear to God, there's more hype in a retirement home when someone finally finishes bingo than for New Warriors. People get more excited in a public library when someone drops their pencil on the floor. Nobody was excited about it, and when they released it, a lot of people just felt downright insulted.
So the first character that we're introduced to is Trailblazer Law, and she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack of divine origin.
So this is the first character we're introduced to in the Marvel New Warriors announcement, their fucking E3 press conference here for New Warriors. This is Trailblazer, and her superpower is having a magic backpack. So she's basically just Dora the Explorer. And the backpack itself looks like Ben 10's Omnitrix if it was butt-fucked by a laser tag vest. Now, I think it's a pretty lame superpower just to have a magic backpack that you pull things out of. Like, I can't really see that being super fun in a crime-fighting situation, you know. We're fighting the supervillain and my teammate's dehydrated, but luckily Trailblazer had a bottle of water in her super backpack. She saved the day. It's just, that's not really interesting from a superpower perspective, but there's nothing inherently silly or wrong about it. I just think it's kind of boring. What we get into and what most people have a problem with is the next few characters, because this shit is just so ridiculous.
Screen Time is a internet kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas, and that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web.
This is where people started to roll their eyes because this shit just gets so fucking dumb. So Screen Time is the result of a teenager being exposed to their grandfather's experimental internet gas. What the fuck is experimental internet gas? Was his grandfather harvesting farts from a Twitch chat shit poster or something and then accidentally released it in the house? That's some of the laziest writing I've seen in a while. Fucking fanfic has better explanations for how a character gets their powers. If you really wanted to make sense of it, why not just have it be like, you know, he was a programmer who made a virtual reality game but accidentally locked himself in it and now he's stuck in there and, you know, caught between the real world and the augmented world. Or even use fucking Wi-Fi if you want. Throw around some like boogeyman Wi-Fi 5G shit maybe. Get the conspiracy theorists all riled up about Screen Time. I don't know, man. But fucking experimental internet gas. Screen Time is a meme-obsessed super teen whose brain became connected to the internet after becoming exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas. Still, I mean, that still just sounds so fucking dumb, especially when it's written down like that. His grandfather had internet juice and he accidentally drank from the bottle and now he's stuck in the internet. Now he can see augmented reality and real-time maps and can instantly Google any fact. You know who else can instantly Google any fact? Anyone else in the entire world who has a phone. It's not really a superpower. As you can clearly see, Marvel is struggling to come up with cool superpowers. A meme-obsessed super teen? They created a fucking Redditor. And he's actually worse than a Redditor. His only power to the group is being able to Google things. He's just a fucking cell phone with legs.
Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins, and their names are very similar to Screen Time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that they don't see as derogatory, to take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. Snowflake is non-binary and goes by they, them. Snowflake has the power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens.
This is what made people the most upset. Snowflake and Safe Space. Let me preface this by saying I don't think there's anything wrong with Marvel taking this kind of approach to characters or using their comics to make political stances. It's totally within their right to do so, but this is the absolute worst possible way of going about it. Nobody appreciated this, and I fucking looked hard. I went through so many different Twitter threads. I went through the fucking fucking swamp looking for anything I could find for anyone trying to say, good work, Marvel. There wasn't a single fucking person patting Marvel on the back for this shit. From the non-binary community, the vast majority of them felt insulted and embarrassed. They felt like they were being used as a joke by Marvel. And I see why, because this is the first non-binary superhero, and they named them Snowflake. That'd be like if the first homosexual superhero was called Captain Gay. I just can't imagine how they thought that was a good idea. They're not doing anything other than making these caricatures that just seem so out of touch. It's some ridiculous shit. Psychic twins. All twins are psychic, but we're psychic-er. That's such a fucking dumb line to kick it off. Snowflake can materialize snowflake-shaped shuriken. Projectiles for throwing in safe space can materialize pink force fields, but can't inhabit them himself. Reflex only works if he's protecting others. They're hyper-aware of modern culture and optics, and they see their superheroics as a post-ironic meditation of using violence to combat bullying. They're probably streaming this. That's just garbage. Actual fucking garbage. Set aside any personal beliefs or anything, these are just not good characters. The writing is bad. 100%. It's just terrible. It's actually fucking terrible. And they insulted the people that they really wanted to, empower with their characters. It just made it seem like they were turning them into a joke. It's fucking terrible what they've done. They've made the worst cast of characters I've ever seen in comic books. From lazy writing to just being so out of tune and tone deaf. It's absolutely wild. I don't know why they wouldn't just make like an actual interesting character with an interesting superpower that happens to be non-binary, instead of making it something so on the nose like, here's Snowflake and Safe Space. Like, it's so silly. And then the last character is a fucking vampire. B negative is the goth kid. When he was a baby, he got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion, we assume from Michael Morbius, and now he has a very similar look and very similar vampire powers. B negative ages like a regular person. Or does he? Who gives a fuck? I don't think there was anyone reading about B negative and wondering, on the fucking edge of their seat, how is he aging? I don't think anyone's like, oh, he's going Benjamin Button style. I've got to know, how's he aging? And he definitely drinks blood. Or does he? Now I'm interested. Yeah, it's just fucking bad. It's terrible. It's actually fucking terrible. And that's really about it. I don't know what the fuck Marvel's doing. I don't think there's anyone that's, gonna go out there fucking day one launch of the new Warriors and buy these comic books. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. That's about it. So yeah. Ezra Miller got charged with robbery in Vermont. Burglary, you swine. But yes, Ezra Miller did get charged with burglary in Vermont. How? I don't remember it. I forgot. They broke into a house for beer or something. It was something so useless. I don't recall. We looked it up. I mean, I guess I can look it up again, but it was something so unbelievably dumb. Out of all the fucked up shit Ezra Miller has done, what they're finally getting them on is burglary for a beer or something. Yep. Missing bottle of alcohol. God damn. Oh, I also forgot about this part. That mom that's been living with them, surrounded by guns, is also an unlicensed cannabis farm, which is kind of wild. I didn't know that. Ezra Miller must be the version of the Flash that's just the shitty person. You're talking about Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is a real character. It is just some dude who hates the Flash. So he just does everything to make the Flash's life worse. But sometimes it's really petty. No way. Yeah, it's real. You've probably seen him in that viral clip where it's the, it's me, Barry. You remember when you prematurely ejaculated in front of whatever her name is? I'll just pull up the clip.
Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch!
Like, that's the one that floats around all the time. It's a real character, though. Granted, I don't think DC's brave enough to have a supersonic meat jerker in official lore, but he does just do everything to make the Flash's life a little worse. In the CW show, he fakes being in a wheelchair to fuck with Barry. How does that even fuck with Barry? So every time Barry sees him, he's just in a wheelchair? How does that make Barry's life worse? Yeah, I guess unless Barry just really hates people confined to wheelchairs, I suppose. So just like roll in front of him and maniacally laugh knowing that Barry's uncomfortable. He pretends to be a caring mentor. See, like, that's super lame. In fact, I don't care, Barry, and I'm not teaching you good things. Haha. He's such a goofy character. Why does Reverse Flash... So why does Reverse Flash hate the Flash? The top 10 worst things Reverse Flash has done. I have to know.
Learning that you're intended to become your idol's greatest rival and a psychotic mass killer isn't really the best day in the office. However, it happened to Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash.
I know he actually does kill a lot of people.
Of chaos. But what are some of the
so this might be a
worst
serious
things that
top
Eobard Thawne
10
has ever done over his various and seemingly infinite incarnations? After his research on the Speed Force while at residency in the Flash Museum had gained some traction, Eobard fell in love with a reporter named Rose who had been hired by Central City Science Today to interview him. However,
God, he looks like such a dweeb.
Engaged. So his future self interfered with the timeline, killing Rose's fiance in an attempt to get her to love him, but it didn't work. So he proceeded to kill every man she had started seeing after her fiance, and eventually every man who she had ever dated at all. So
how does that help him though? This guy's just a fucking idiot.
Friends. However, she continued to just brush off Thawne's romantic advances, eventually retaliating physically when he attempted to kiss her. In anger, his future self traumatized the reporter as a child, rendering her mute and causing her to be institutionalized for the rest of her life. Although, if she was still friends with Eobard, well, knowing full well that...
Who writes this? This actually feels like something I would have read as a child on DeviantArt. So his crush never loved him. So his future self killed her boyfriend. She still didn't love him. So he killed every man on Earth until it was just the two of them. And she still didn't love him. So then his future self traumatized her as a child, rendering her mute and institutionalized. And now they're married. This is incredible. What great lore.
I'm causing a few of you to rethink your relationships, huh? In at 9,
I mean, if that's what a healthy relationship
this
sounds
sound like a lot, but trust me. During the events of the Flashpoint comic arc, Barry brought back to Batman a letter from his father, who was alive in the Flashpoint timeline as Batman. It's the only contact that Batman has had with his parents ever since they died.
Oh no.
So it would be a shame if something were to happen to it. Oh wait, that's right. Thawne decides to rip it to shreds so that it couldn't even be reassembled. It also didn't help that.
I mean, he only wrote 2 sentences. Like, at that point, just knowing that his dad wrote him something is probably good enough. I don't think this one's too bad. A message sent across time, a letter to your dead son. I'm not the hero of this story. Was it consoling Thomas? Oh, was it consoling Thomas, knowing he would have it? That though he lost you, he could always see you loved him. Did that make you feel better, Thomas? As you burned. I mean, okay.
Either there was an original timeline where Barry's mother didn't die, but he still became the Flash.
So he killed Barry's mom.
Or did a whole other thing. After being stranded in our present after killing Barry's mother due to a lack of speed, Thawne decides that the only way to get back...
Pardon? After killing Barry's mother due to a lack of speed, so she died of being slow? She couldn't run a 4-second 40, thus she died. You're too slow to exist in this timeline, Mom. You're cringe. Oh, you got trapped due to a lack of speed. Ah, okay. So he was too slow to make it back to her. So she died because her son isn't fast enough. Gotcha. Alright, I thought it was the mom who wasn't, like, up to snuff with the track team.
Similar to what Nora does when she helps Barry destroy the Thinker satellite in the Season 4 finale, advancing time by 5 years. This time, Thawne advanced it by 6 years. Using the face of another man to train Barry, gain his trust,
this was the fake mentor thing you mentioned.
Get back to his own time. These soldiers are accompanied by evil versions of Green Arrow and Supergirl. The evil version of Flash.
They didn't even change Supergirl's costume. The evil version of Supergirl is the same Supergirl, but I guess just with shady morals now. They couldn't even give her a cool evil costume.
The evil version of Flash is missing, however he doesn't appear in
that wasn't a picture
series,
of her? Okay.
Which this crossover also technically has a crossover with, but they're just brought into real life. Same, kind of like how they did with the Vixen crossover. But the evil version of the Flash in this crossover, oh you bet your ass it's Thawne. Wearing Wells' face no less, presumably having killed the Barry of Earth X, Thawne helps Overgirl and Dark Arrow lead a group of fascist soldiers on the attack. In the process of killing Barry's mother out of anger since he couldn't manage to kill Barry, Thawne ended up framing his father for the murder and gets him sent to prison. Obviously, this wasn't really avoidable because of how time works or whatever, but this still causes Barry a great deal of pain.
I would imagine.
To be highly intelligent and to have a particular appearance. However, as he grew up, they became concerned about his
What in the fuck kind of art is this? My name was Eobard Thawne. I was an only child. Bro, this family, it's like the Jetsons. Wow. I mean, I would have guessed this is a villain already, this whole family.
Hoping that caring for a sibling would help Eobard adjust, his
They're from the
parents had a
future?
second son.
Man, even if they are from the future, what happens in the future? Everyone gets hit by an ugly beam? Like, what is going on here? Like, everyone's like their face is elongated and wrinkled, and it's weird.
But then he was caught by Robert, who was an officer in the science police. This caused Eobard a great deal of pain, which is understandable.
Oh, I have to look them up. The science police? What do they tackle that the normal authorities won't? I see you didn't factor in the baseline variables here. You're going to jail. What do they do? Stop people from researching dangerous shit? I guess, but would that not fall under the jurisdiction of the normal police? If they're like researching weapons or something? Arrest flat earthers. So anyone they arrest anyone who has conspiracy beliefs. Alright. I can get behind that, I guess.
Well, given that your brother's altering reality. It is mentioned in Judeo-Christian religions, and it was an ordinary spear before Roman soldier Longinus used it to pierce the side of Jesus Christ after he died on the cross, resulting in its immense supernatural powers. The second season of the...
You telling me Jesus Christ is in DC Comics? Alright, excuse me, I need to look up, what kind of powers did he have? Jesus of Nazareth, New Earth. He was one of Charles Xavier's mutants. Oh wait, that's Marvel. Whatever. The resurrection of Christ is disproven by science. What a cool story arc. Wubba lubba dub dub. Wow, I mean, they really bring a lot into the fold here. But then, I mean, he is public domain, so they have every right to. Healing, molecular reconstruction, resurrection, weather manipulation, and exorcism. I feel like there's so few instances in comic books where an exorcism is a helpful power. Like, it's such a tedious process. Who else has the power of exorcisms in the DC universe? Oh, Constantine makes sense. You're telling me oh, wait, these are trending pages. Oh, actually, no, wait, these are characters that perform exorcisms. Who the fuck did Clark Kent exorcise? He performed an exorcism on Batman. Bro, I need to start reading DC Comics. Holy shit, this sounds unhinged. Wait, he just got, like, ordained by the Catholic Church or something and they gave him the authority?
He manages to kill Barry as a child, as he set out to do so many years ago. Or I guess Will set out to do. I don't know, time travel is weird, man. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Why did he keep targeting his mom? He could have just killed Barry, like, as a kid. It would have been easier, I guess. Like, what's Barry gonna do as a child to fight back? Oh, because he wants Barry to suffer. Right, I keep forgetting it. Like, his main motivation is just to make his life miserable. True. So it would defeat the purpose if he killed him. So why? Why? Okay, why don't I just look it up? Okay, let's see. Why does Reverse Flash hate Flash? He hates the Flash because he was so damn obsessed over him that he started to become like him, only to realize his destiny is meant to be his greatest enemy. So that really ruined his life and made him hate the Flash. To me, that sounds like he doesn't really have a reason to hate the Flash as much as he does.
The Reverse Flash is one of my favorite villains within the DC universe. He's so psychotic, he's so crazy, and his entire purpose is to just mess with Barry Allen, the Flash, one of my favorite superheroes, in which Jeff Johns wanted to reinvent the Reverse Flash to be someone significant within the Flash's life, to be his Joker, per se. And it was at that moment that we got the Reverse Flash that many of you know today, the one that has been in TV shows and in cartoon movies, and in the video games, the psychistic and psychotic things, classic storyline titled The Return of Barry Allen. Thawne becomes Barry Allen, in a sense. You see, in his original origin, Barry Allen went to the future where he found Eobard Thawne using an old Flash costume to commit his crimes. Barry Allen destroyed the suit and...
Why is Eobard Thawne so fucking repulsive? Like, this guy looks like inbred. Every single goddamn panel I've seen of this guy makes him look truly abhorrent. Maybe that's why he's just so goddamn mad.
This led down a long path that would involve Barry Allen running into the future to live there with Iris until he was needed.
This is so old school comic. Get up, you can't be dead. But he is. And Flash killed him. That is vintage.
Because in his second origin, Thawne is still a scientist in the future, but this time he went back in time to replace Barry Allen. He even had facial reconstruction to make it happen, and he stole the cosmic treadmill from an antique shop. He then went back in time and he learned that he was in fact the Flash's greatest enemy, not his replacement. This caused a break in his mind, and he was convinced that he was Barry Allen. Central City had forgotten about him. He battled against Wally and Jay until Wally tricked him into returning to his own time.
Okay.
You see, those were the only two appearances of Eobard Thawne that were
still not like a really strong reasoning to hate him that much. Like I don't see the real drive. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, like, damn. So I can't replace him.
He tries to murder Wally West's kids in front of their mother, Linda Park. The only thing that saves them is Jay and Bart Allen. But he then quickly defeats Jay, and he threatens to kill Bart. He is, of course, stopped, and he proceeds to inform Barry that everything that has ever gone wrong in Barry's life is because of Thawne. Even when he would, fall down the stairs into the basement, Thawne tripped him using super speed. When he lost a friend, that was because Thawne messed with him. To seal up
how can you not appreciate that? That's so stupid. When he fall down the stairs, it's because Reverse Flash came and tripped him. That's like some shit you would hear Alex Jones say. Like, the reason why this is in my search history is because 11th Dimensional Alex Jones actually came and framed me with it. That fucking trickster is at it again. This is such a wacky character. Holy shit. Are all comics like this? Like I said, I haven't really kept up with comics much, but my Jesus. Fucking 50 different timelines and 400 different alternate universes. My lord. Is that fun to keep up with? That just seems like a headache. And it feels like there's never any stakes. I remember I watched a video on the death of Superman on how it actually broke comics. And it really feels like that's super accurate. I really think they need just one single canon timeline. They can have all the spin-offs elsewhere, but I really think they need to stick with one actual canon timeline. Condense all of the ideas, take what worked, what didn't work from all of the other ones, and make an actual single line to follow. I just feel like that'd be much, much better. Maybe they do. I don't know. But it seems like all of chat said that this is how they go. They've done that several times, but it always gets rebooted. Then it's completely worthless. This was a fun little rabbit hole. Yeah, Reverse Flash is super goofy. Fun goofy. There's a character called Bruno Excelente that's a sex offender. And that's it. Well, is he supposed to be a hero? Because that's kind of a hard guy to root for. Oh, Bueno Excelente. Yeah, look him up. Is it DC? Bueno Excelente was a perverted sex offender whose skills earned him a place on the hero team Section 8. This is real? I mean, this would probably be my least favorite member of the team. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I find it hard to root for a sex offender. His only ability is intimidation. His only heroic ability is to scare people with the threat and act of sexual assault. And he's part of the... heroes. Okay, it's not exactly a hero team. Okay. So he's part of a team of villains, then. What a character. He only ever spoke the words bueno and excelente. It is implied that Kyle Rayner was once drugged and sexually assaulted by Bueno Excelente. Man, it's such a shame they retired such a classic character in 2000. There's a Batman comic where Batman abuses his newly adopted son because he misinterprets what his PC says. Thinks it says son, but instead it was sun, S-U-N. Man, what in tarnation? Andrew talked about that one, did he? I don't recall. Andrew knows a lot about the wacky lore of some of this dog shit. But all of it starts to blend together. Comics sound like they're in a pretty cool spot. Who's Dog Welder? I don't know, I'll look him up. Dog Welder, New Earth. He was a member of Section 8, which we just learned also had the convicted sex offender whose ability is intimidation and sexual assault. So this is a team of superstars. Dog welder spent his time trapping and killing dogs in alleyways. Abilities: dog welding. Sometimes called mechanical construction. Okay. He has a strong compulsion to weld dogs to people's faces. Damn, and to think he also retired in 2000. What a sad year for DC Comics when they retired Bueno Excelente and Dog Welder. Like I said, I was never a huge comic reader by any means. And now it's in such a weird state. Oh my god, there's a Dog Welder too. The second Dog Welder was similar to the first one. Oh, this guy's got like actual lore. One day in an antique store, he was possessed by the original Dog Welder's welding equipment, becoming the current Dog Welder. His wife and family wanted to help him, however, he was too compelled to weld dogs to people and welded the family dog to his children. This guy's a menace. As a result, his wife divorced him, and remarried a year later. Let's go. Dog Welder secretly watches his family. How do you remarry that? He welded the family dog to his children. His wife's like, I can fix him, I guess. He watches his family from afar, shows a desire to speak with them, but decides to leave instead. While in Gotham, he encounters Constantine, who reveals to Dog Welder that he can communicate vocally by using dead dogs as puppets. Later, Dog Welder attempts to reconcile with his family. However, his children are still very traumatized by their last encounter with him. His ex-wife, seeking to defend her kids, threatens him with a knife and urges him to leave. Realizing he is frightening the kids, he decides to leave with Section 8 and they head to the pyramids of Egypt. There, Dog Welder learns the truth of his power. Bro, what power? He has welding equipment, kills a dog, and tries to weld it to a person. That's not a power. Like that, you have all the powers of a man. And modern welding equipment. While they are attacked by mummies, Dog Welder lights his torch and is immediately transported to the Dog Welder afterlife. What does that consist? What does that even consist of? Paradise, I guess. Wow. Here he encounters the previous Dog Welder and learns their origin. The power of the Dog Welders is derived from a curse created by Anubis. After their conversation is concluded, Dog Welder returns to his friends. Man, that Anubis is always up to no good. I've said it since I was a kid. You can't trust him. Back in Gotham, they learn that stars Sirius A and B are expanding. When they touch, they will explode and destroy Earth. Dog Welder has an epiphany that he is meant to weld the stars together. As Sirius is the dog star. Are these written like are these supposed to be jokes or is it like serious? Are these like actual stories? Like, do they take themselves seriously? I cannot fucking tell. I don't know. I'm getting mixed reviews. It's supposed to be serious, 100% serious, and the comic series is a joke. I can't tell. Most people are saying serious. It's obviously not very serious. See, like, that's what I would normally say, but Reverse Flash is supposed to be, like, a serious villain, and some of his crimes, while some are heinous, some of his other ones are, he trips Barry when he's a kid. He pushed Barry down the stairs when he was a kid once. And that's, like, a serious villain. Like, that's one of their, like, big villains. Constantine reveals that Dog Welder has a lot of untapped power. As a result, he may be able to fix Sirius. Section 8 then knock out some NASA astronauts, steal their suits, and hijack a space shuttle. When they arrive in the Sirius star system, Dog Welder leaves the ship and harnesses the power of all previous Dog Welders. He's able to weld Sirius A and B together, stabilizing them. He says goodbye to his friends, knowing that the stars will expand, killing him. Though he was content, as this would prevent the curse from afflicting other people. Section 8 returned to Noonan's, where they all mourn the loss of Dog Welder, whose world-saving sacrifice will never be known to the public. Fuck me. I'm a Dog Welder fan. I need to see these, like, comic panels. Damn, he is not very popular. This is a whole video on the Section 8, the one with Bueno Excelente, the sex offender, and Dog Welder. Who else is part of Section 8? Here's one guy whose spit tastes really bad, so he spits in people's mouths. Team Leaders 6-pack. Sydney... Okay, so this is definitely a joke series. It clearly... Okay. I see. So it's not supposed to be taken, like, in earnest. Flim Jim? Oh my god, this guy actually just spits. Holy shit. I just tried to think of the most useless power and I fucking nailed it. Wow. Wow. Well, I feel real good right now. I was a little off though. I thought he would just spit on people and it tastes bad, but it looks like his is kind of like acidic. Friendly fire. Wait, this guy might actually have a power. He accidentally shot off his own head while also fatally injuring the defenestrator. So he has energy projection but can't aim. Jean de Baton. Alright, pretty cool, pretty cool. So he throws a baton. And then last one is Shake. Alright. Well, I'd say the Section 8 squad is probably up there with the Justice League. They've got all the heavy hitters here. I'm guessing they didn't perform super well, considering their run only lasted like 20 issues. But I think we're overdue for the reboot. This was created by the guy that made The Boys. Oh, no fucking way. Wait, what? Oh, Garth Ennis, you're right. Holy shit. Yeah, he's the guy that made The Boys. Wow, okay. I don't know why they don't credit The Boys here. I'm guessing this is just DC-related properties because we're on the DC fandom. But yeah, Garth made The Boys. Also, The Boys is a fucking terrible comic. Like, it's not a very good comic, but it's a great premise. The show did such a great job adapting it. Yeah, it's just shock for the sake of shock in a lot of places. Wow, I think there might actually be a real chance that they at some point try Section 8. With the success of The Boys, they really might. And I think it could slap. They'd have to tone down Bueno Excelente, I think, though. I don't think having a sympathetic sexual assaulter would go over super well. But aside from that, I think everyone else would probably see moderate success. Bueno Excelente is the soul of the team. Yeah, true. He's really... I mean, at the end of the day, it's only him and Six-Pack that survived the mini-angled ones, whatever that means. So the world is left with just the alcoholic and the guy who rapes people. So he is one of the stronger members. But Dog Welder's the one that saves the world by welding stars together instead of dogs. By the way, apparently James Gunn actually considered Dog Welder for the Suicide Squad, and there was even a fan petition to include him. They should have. He could have just been one of those people that die, like, immediately on the beach. Six-Pack fixed his life after going to Alcoholics Anonymous, but then Superman ruined his life again for no reason. I kind of want to read this. I tried to read a little of The Boys, but I guess that's a bad example because it is just, like, actually a bad series. Like, the comic series is trash. Yeah, I hear a lot of great things about Invincible. I haven't read it, though. But basically what we, like... I just think a lot of comics just aren't super fun to read, which is why for Godslap we've been focusing on making it so even if you hate reading, you'll at least enjoy Godslap, or at least that's the goal. Have you heard about the absolute show going on with the Amazing Spider-Man comics? Someone in chat mentioned that a minute ago, but I didn't bother to look it up. Let me see. What's happening? I don't see anything in the news here about it. I see 9 hours ago they teased Spider-Man hunting Kraven. So what is it? And I'll look for it. I see resub Ewu, Toxic, and Tier 1 Cyclone, the anonymous gift sub. And the bits Moth and Digital. I know he would be so disappointed, Digital. He got cucked again. Like, the true definition of cucked is Spider-Man now confirmed cuckold? Like, what do you mean? Literally, yes. No way. Or, I don't see anything about that when Googling. Where do I go to find that? I don't believe you. What do I do? Amazing Spider-Man cuck. I see something from 3 months ago. Bits. Oh, so it's not actual cuckoldry. They're just making a shitty run right now. Look up MJ and Paul. I feel like I'm just being lied to in general. Who the fuck is Paul? Paul Rabin? MJ's new boyfriend. Oh, she's moved on from Spider-Man to Paul. And has kids with Paul. Cool. Awesome. So, okay. What happened then? From what I'm reading, Mary Jane and Paul got locked in an alternate dimension for 4 years, and they fell in love. That's so weird. What the fuck? Cool. Thanks, you said Edible, Bulldog, Nightwing, Aaron, Andrew, and Tier 1 Joey. Is Paul just some dude? He's apparently related to a villain. I don't know, this is very silly sounding from the cliff notes here. This is just titled Mary Jane's 2 children are no more. And then it looks like they were created and then erased by him. Wow. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Joey. And the resub nostalgia, Mickey, and the Prime Rar. So is the drama just it's bad? This isn't the first time Peter got cucked. Gwen Stacy cheated on him with the Green Goblin and had secret kids back in the day. Damn, he can't catch a break. Thanks for your sub, Drunk. Yeah, this doesn't really seem like drama. It just seems like it's a bad Spider-Man run right now. What kind of writing is that? I don't know, man. Goofy writing? They made Captain America into a secret Nazi? Well, probably in like an alternate timeline, right? That's the whole point of their multiverse, is everything is possible. So that doesn't even sound that egregious or anything. Just sounds dumb. It's a tier 1 diet. No, it's canon. It's canon? Wait. Wait, let me see. That's a pretty wild twist. Oh, this is all the way back in 2017. How Marvel has responded to the Nazi Captain America controversy. Captain America is actually evil and aligned with the shadowy organization Hydra. Huh. What a... I mean, this panel goes hard. Just says, Hail Hydra. Cool. He was just an agent or something, was he? Captain America Steve Rogers #1 closes with the iconic hero killing a teammate and declaring Hail Hydra. That's bold. That's big. Ugh. I'm the most hated man in America today, Spencer told the Daily Beast. Brother, you write comic books. You're not the most hated man in America because you're not good at writing comic books. Like, stop. Just stop. Ugh. I write comics too, man. And if I fumbled, I wouldn't say I'm the most hated man in America. I'd say, damn, I really let people down with this one. When you decide to do something like this, you understand, obviously, that people aren't going to throw you a party for it. You understand that this is the kind of story designed to upset people and shock people and worry people. That's the response you're supposed to have to something like this when you're seeing a bad thing. Does he think it's all, like, real or something? This is certainly the kind of response I expected, but in terms of the magnitude of it and just how many people are chiming in, that part's unreal. It surpassed any expectation I had. I must have missed all the riots in the street over Captain America turning out to be a Nazi in an issue of Marvel. Somehow I didn't see that one. Series of Joy Boy, Care, Squid, Spud, Shrek, Mess, and the Bits Jack, Toutist, and Thunder. Doing alright, Thunder. Hope you had a good day. You see Kiora has ChatGPT now? No, I didn't see that. I've still not seen Raka Raka's horror movie yet. I will be seeing it soon, though. I want to. It looks good. Like, all the reviews and everything are good, so, I mean, it's sounding pretty good. Thanks for some clarity. It's an old story. He was a sleeper agent deep undercover, pretending to be Hydra was how they changed it. He was faking it to go take Hydra down from the inside. Damn, so they couldn't even stick to their guns. Cowards. You know that as of now, Jean Grey has died a total of 16 times throughout Marvel's mainline canon. Wow. Yeah, I saw that Pee Wee Herman passed away today. Him and Angus Cloud, I believe his name is, from Euphoria. Fucking awful. Both those, terrible. Twitter's going crazy with conspiracies? On what? I don't think there's any foul play or anything here, man. Thanks, Risa Bless. I don't even know what you could possibly make a conspiracy out of for this. Anyone who dies is vaccine related now. Yeah, I do see that on pretty much all of those posts. There was a post today, actually, as well, about a famous, like, daredevil, like one of those Instagram daredevils who climbs skyscrapers and shit. He fell to his death today. And one of the replies was asking about his vaccination status. I'm unsure if it was, like, a meme on that or not, but that is legitimately on every post about someone passing away, is about, like, it was probably vaccine related. It's so hard now to tell on the platform formerly known as Twitter, like, what's satire and what's not, because it's so fucking crazy. Absolute loony bin. Do I think Avatar is going to be good? No. It definitely looks better than the M. Night Shyamalan movie, which of course is a very low bar. But you have to remember the creators of Avatar left the project due to creative differences, so whatever's going to come out, I think, is going to be trash. Thanks for the membership, Panned. But the trailer was fine. So here's hoping. You said the same thing about One Piece? Yeah, but One Piece didn't have Oda publicly besmirch it, saying that there was creative differences they couldn't reconcile and leave. Avatar, the actual creators left, saying that it was just not what they wanted. That's totally different. You remember when everyone was leaving Rockstar Games because of the extreme toxic environment? I actually don't remember that. When was that? Seen the rumors of Iron Man returning to the MCU? Yeah, we talked about it. I don't think they're gonna do that. That'd be well beyond desperate, and I don't think it would save them. I know they're desperate, but I don't think they're going to bring Robert Downey Jr. back. It's not going to save them, even if they did. Which I don't think they will, but it still wouldn't get people going back to Marvel movies. Especially not after the Marvels. I saw it tonight, it was absolutely atrocious. They are absolutely lost. What are your thoughts on this situation with The Escapist and everyone quitting after they fired the editor? I still didn't look into it, but I was surprised to hear that it was still going. People only went to The Escapist for a couple of specific creators, and I don't know anyone else who went there outside of that. So I was shocked that it was even still operational. Any plans to play Assassin's Creed Nexus? I'll probably play it once for 3 hours and quit like I do for all Assassin's Creed games because they're so fucking boring. That's super sweet, Tyson. That was very wholesome. Appreciate it, Alvin. Hope everything goes well. And yeah, of course, Ryan, at some point. And good luck. I hope it goes well for you, VHS. You hear that Deadpool 3 is the only MCU movie coming out in 2024. 3 other movies got delayed to 2025. Didn't hear that, but that's great news. Finally give people a break. Any thoughts on Modern Warfare 3? Worst campaign in Call of Duty history, but haven't played the multiplayer. And I've not seen the Jujutsu Kaisen episode today. I had to decline my friend inviting me to watch The Marvels. You saved yourself 150 minutes of agony. That movie is atrocious. It's not fun bad. There's not a single redeeming thing about it other than Miss Marvel being a good character. It's worthless. I don't know why they even put it out in the current state. Of course I'll play Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm very excited for that. Nah, you should get some rest, Ash. Was it worse than Shazam 2? Yes. It was somehow less coherent than Shazam 2 as well. I think R-rated Blade will help refresh the MCU. Maybe. No idea, Intent. And maybe because I switched to YouTube mainly. It can't be as bad as Eternals, right? It is. Thanks for the membership, Kev. Stalker 2 is releasing. It has a release date, doesn't it? I don't think that's something that's never coming out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to play it when it releases. I think the only thing that can save Marvel is if they bring in District 8 Medic. I wasn't a medic, I was a hospital helper. At least get my title correct. But you're right, that might revitalize the MCU. They made a whole fucking series around, well, I guess it wasn't all around him, but it had that guy, what's his name, Colin? Fuck, I forgot him. From Avengers. They could do that for me. Take me from the Hunger Games multiverse. Don't know enough about it, Cactus. Is it worse than Morbius? No. It's not worse than Morbius. But it is somehow a messier movie than Morbius. I'm telling you, it is not a cohesive movie that's printed. It's terrible. Thanks to the resub, Cat and Temple. That's super sweet. Thanks for that, Say. Yeah, I can check that out later. Hope you had a good night. Thoughts on Jennifer Gardner coming back for Elektra? Is she really? Oh my god, what a fucking throwback. Is that real? This is from like the golden age of trash superhero movies. Elektra. Oh my lord. Where are you seeing these rumors? Oh, Deadpool 3 rumors. Sounds great to me. Man, this and Daredevil. Bad movies, like objectively speaking, of course. But there's something special about that era. Good evening, Strange. Kind of like Daredevil from 03. It's a bad movie. Like, it's not a good movie. If you go back and watch it, it's pretty bad. But I liked it at the time, too. It was just a special era where some of the biggest dog shit movies were some of the most memorable as a kid. I listened to both of them, Kenneth. I'm a huge fan of both. Omni-Man came out today. Oh yeah, I forgot today's the day he comes out. Don't know who that is, Green. Has he stolen content and then reacted to it yet? Are you stuck in a time vortex, man? I haven't done react content in like a year. But good one. Objective View. Haven't started Pluto. Not yet. I heard great things though, so I am excited. I'm doing alright, Alex. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, like I said, the new Avatar trailer was fine. Like, it definitely looks like a big improvement over the last one. But I am not expecting much, considering the creators left. So, I still think it's not going to be good, just based off of that. But I would love to be proven wrong. And I'm also tired of this fucking trend of taking extremely successful and extremely beautiful animated shows and making them live action, but only adapting it 1-to-1, so you don't really add anything to it, you just make it worse. Kind of like the fucking live action Lion King. Just like you take the exact same thing and make it worse. It worked really well for One Piece because they didn't just do it like that. They added their own creativity and input to it while keeping the vibe the same. Which is how you have to do it. It's fucking worthless to just take something animated and do a bad version of it live action. Like, what's the point? Stupid. It's fucking stupid. My shitty childhood was Zoom Academy for Superheroes. I saw that in theaters. That movie is awful. I hated it back then, too. It was so bad. You're talking about Tim Allen's Zoom, right? This came out during, like, the Sky High craze. This shit is atrocious. I didn't know anyone could like this movie. That's fair, Snow. I never watched Legend of Korra, though. That movie is so fucking good. It is not! It was bad even for its time. It was a horrible movie. Hope you had fun at the concert, Caleb. And yeah, I'm a fan. I think they're good. I don't know if it's fun bad. I haven't watched it since I was a young boy. Maybe it's fun bad. Thanks for the membership, Connor. You watched the Ghostbusters trailer? No, I totally forgot about it. I just have no interest in it, unfortunately. What's it called again? Frozen something? Frozen Empire. I don't know, I just can't even pretend to be interested in it. Ghostbusters is a franchise that it's just not getting any tender love and care, unfortunately. I wish it would, though. Loved Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 growing up. A lot of people didn't like the sequel, but I did. I still fucking quote, God, well, it's been a while since I quoted it now. Are you the Keymaster? I am Zool. What was the... Oh my god, that's not it. What the fuck was the order? And then she starts levitating above the bed. The fuck is it? Now I can't remember.